Hi everyone, I am Olalu Adada.
And my name is Muriel Jean-Michel. This is series 1. We're going to be talking about all the ships that you can think about: relationships, situationships, friendships, just all of the ships in total. And we're excited about bringing you conversations we usually have, on the couch. And we thought maybe there's some people that can benefit from this.
Yes.
So that's where we're going.
This is you coming into our conversations
Yes.
that we have in my living room,
All of the time.
over FaceTime, in the kitchen, everywhere.
Everywhere.
So the first question that we have, or the first thing we wanted to address and discuss was, what is a powerful woman, and why do men struggle to date powerful women? I know. Okay. So I know that people have different opinions about this, but what we wanted to do is take a snippet or a bite-sized bit of information from a very trusted person on social media, David Barras, and we wanted to share his opinion, and
then from there,
we're gonna flesh it out. Okay, so go
okay.
ahead.
I'm gonna read to you what he posted online, right? And I'm gonna paraphrase. So he goes and he says he's sharing insight, and he's talking about big brotherly insights. I'm just gonna read it out. He says, many of you have the assumption that men are intimidated by you. And he says for some men that is true, but it's not for all men. He goes to say that there are some men who are not intimidated. He said, but they are turned off by you because all they hear from you is how much of a boss chick that you are and how much you have handled on your own.
Yeah.
And how that translates to him is you are an incredible woman, but he's not seeing any space in your life for his leadership to take, any control. And he says that you seem unwilling to follow in a direction that he would be leading. And he's saying, I'm not suggesting that you not be proud of your accomplishments or that you minimize your greatness, but I'm suggesting that you be mindful of the impact your words may have on men that may be interested in you.
Well,
Looky
here.
Okay.
This is loaded. Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to hear from you what you would define as a powerful woman, because it seems like, according to the culture, a powerful woman is a boss babe. She's a boss chick.
Yeah.
She's making 7 streams of income.
Yeah.
She's holding it down for everyone. She knows what she wants. She says what she wants and when she wants it.
Yeah.
And then he was right. There isn't really much weakness there. There's more strength and wow.
Yeah.
So how would you define a powerful woman? Do you agree?
I'm going to go into it. I'm going to answer your first question first. I think a powerful woman is a woman who is able to provide value to whatever sphere of influence that she is called to. If that's her home, if that's her kids, if that's a business, if that's tech, if that's agriculture, like whatever sphere of influence that she's called to, even called to her husband, she provides value there.
Yeah.
I think that is what makes you powerful. You get your power from being able to fulfill whatever assignment that God has placed, on your life.
Absolutely.
So that's how I would define, what a powerful woman is.
Yeah. Okay, so we understand this definition of being a powerful woman. Why do you think women are struggling to be dated? Especially within the Black, African American space. Why are single, powerful Black women struggling to date?
Okay, I don't think I should put a disclaimer here. This is not about us.
Disclaimer!
But I'm going to go ahead and explain. I think that a lot of them may be struggling to date because a lot of men associate being powerful with you being unapproachable. So if you are quote unquote a powerful woman, that makes you quote unquote also unapproachable.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't talk to you because you have it all together, and I can't have more power over you, maybe, or I can't control you, in a sense.
Yeah.
You know, but I shared this with our friends at some point, and I was saying that, you know, when you look at culture, if you look at all the movies and they're running to save a woman, this woman is never black. You know, they are never saved. And this is no offense, because I have friends from, you know, all over the world who are different shades, different colors, different backgrounds.
Yeah.
The woman that they're saving in these movies are never black. The damsel in distress, you know, she's never black. You know, her hair is, you know, always, you know, flowing, and she's usually petite.
She looks docile.
She looks docile and, you know, very
like
small.
She needs saving.
Save me, you know, be my knight in shining armor. And I don't think that it's that black women don't need a knight in shining armor. I don't think that's what it is. I think we need it and we want it, but maybe we want it in a different way.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. And then lastly, before you continue, it's like, I don't think men sometimes can put the two together in correlation, that the fact that I'm black and I'm powerful does not mean that I'm not soft.
Yeah.
It's just that my softness looks different from maybe somebody who's like with puppy dog eyes, like, you know, come and save me. You know, with eyelashes batting at you.
Absolutely. And obviously we know that these are to a certain extent generalizations.
Yes, definitely. Do not come for us.
Eat the meat, throw away the bone. Whichever part. If the shoe fits. Okay, so I do feel you. I think that when it comes to strength and portraying strength, there's a lot that, you know, black women, regardless of what continent they're on, have had to maybe go through. There are different experiences that have made them grow up, take initiative faster, all of these things. And that shapes you.
Definitely.
That shapes your perspective. And a lot of us are naturally very independent, and we need help, but we may not always look like we need help.
Yeah.
You know, there are a lot of statistics about young black girls in schools that says that they're less likely to ask help from a teacher that doesn't look like them.
Yeah.
Because there's this perception that they understand, they know what they're doing, they'll just get on with it.
Yeah.
And we carry that into our dating world as well. So what I really want to know is, how does a guy begin to approach a woman who is strong and powerful?
Yeah.
He can't necessarily see a gap for him to fill.
Yeah.
Let's say financially there's no gap to fill, so he doesn't feel, he can't be her provider per se. Maybe she makes more money than him. Emotionally, she's got a great group of friends, so it doesn't look like there's space for him there.
Yeah.
In her life, she's got everything together. She has an assistant, she's organized, she's gymming, she's eating.
Are you talking about me?
Like, a lot of things look good in her life. So where is the space for a man?
Yeah.
Because, you know, I have conversations with my guy friends, and the rhetoric a lot of the time is, do you know what? There needs to be room for me to step in.
Yeah.
So I guess David is right in the sense that, you know, maybe there needs to be some sort of Red Sea to part.
Come and part.
Whatever that is, but a lot of guys don't see that to now, you know, come towards that, to now discover the softness that a woman, a black woman, actually does have, but may not openly show.
Sure. Okay, I think that was beautiful, and you're definitely gifted at asking powerful questions. So if you see me taking a breath to say something, it's because she really sends you to that place, you know. But I think before a man, you know, is ready to approach a powerful woman, he needs to actually prepare himself first before coming. And this
unpack that.
And this is why, right? Provision is not only money.
It's very true.
Do you understand? If you look at a powerful woman's life and you're like, oh, she has everything already, I can't give her money. Like, provision is only money, and even when a woman has money, she wants to spend your money.
Exactly. Not my money. You don't want to spend
I'll take my money. I'll invest. You know, I'll make an account for the kids. You know, my money go to a holiday, but I will gladly spend your money. Ask my dad. I will spend your. So provision is not just. So from the outside looking in, I think a man needs to deconstruct and bring down all of the walls that he's creating of the reason why he can't talk to her.
Why?
Like before you like, oh, I already can't talk to her. You never met her.
Yeah, you
don't know if she has a middle name. You don't know anything. All you see is this perception of what is created, of what's going on, and you never even spoke to her. So I think first of all, provision is not just money. Men can provide for women in like 7 different ways, numerous ways that are not just money. And I think something else to consider as well is that you're saying, you need to make room for him to come and do something. I don't necessarily think that's true. I think that men provide a level of leadership that puts everything that I'm doing in his picture. Do you understand what I mean? Like, the Bible is such a powerful book regardless, right? The word submission is 2 words. It's submission. God will now give you and your husband, right? By the time your husband comes along, it's not even anymore about what you're doing and everything you have going on. It's how do I fit all that God has called me to do under the mission that God has called my husband to lead. Do you understand? Because at the end of the day, you are a helpmate.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, and I think maybe that's why he was meaning in his quote on Facebook that you are a boss chick. Yeah, but that boss chick fall under my boss leader husband.
Ooh.
You understand?
That's a quote and a t-shirt.
It's like my boss chickness. We should make that into a t-shirt. It literally falls down under the boss leadership of my husband. Like, give a woman something to follow. Like women, I think we saw it online that it was saying that women can be naturally soft if you cultivate an environment for them to grow. And one of our faves, Touré Roberts, Sarah, and with Sarah, Sarah said Touré told her, I'm going to create an environment for you to thrive. By the way, Touré, if you ever see this,
God bless you,
God bless you, sir. Sir, please write a book, sir. We need we want you to write a book to the men on how you don't diminish at all by allowing a woman to be all that God has called her to be. Please. Please and thank you. But pretty much.
I think that there's a lot to speak to because sometimes it's not that a man can't do those things. It's not that he doesn't want to lean into cultivating or first, giving her the opportunity to unveil herself and getting to know her. I think there would naturally be a flow of getting to know. But then there might be things that he discovers. Oh wow, I do not feel equipped to lead you. This was not in my handbook. So there are, I've observed this happen a couple of times. Like I have friends who are getting married and things like that. And, a guy who helps around the household, like his father, especially amongst Nigerians, Africans, maybe his father's generation would sit in the living room and wait for his wife to bring him dinner. And then this generation of guys are very hands-on and they want to support.
And they're helping.
But the men around them are not encouraging this kind of nurture that we're describing. They're saying, why do you need to do that? Because that makes you look like you're helping her and not, she's there to submit to you, she's there to help your mission. And you would find that a lot of guys actually think this way. She's only there to be your helpmeet, and that is true, it's biblical. But there's also something about not missing how nurturing God is, and also how that is reflected in Christ and his bride, and then how that should also be reflected in relationship, committed, monogamous, godly relationships. We should also see that pattern of service and giving and love, and it's not common.
I wanna fall back on something you just said, which was, hey, sometimes men come home and in this generation they're doing a lot of helping. And in the generation before that, it was like the woman mostly serving while the guy waits for the food. I think, and maybe this is me putting on my therapist hat now, but I think it's so important for you to do what works for your house. Like, whatever works for your house is what works. Do you understand? There are some homes where husbands love to be served. Like it's their love, it's almost like love language to them that I want my wife to serve me. I mean, I have a couple of friends and they go ahead and they say, Muriel, all this stuff you want to do for your husband, don't do it around our husbands because they're going to get jealous. Because my My friend literally told me I don't want my husband to be confused. You know,
because you're not gonna get this at home.
Because you're doing a lot of extra things.
Yeah.
You know, because I like in the Nigerian culture, or maybe in African cultures, women bow for their husbands.
Yeah.
Like those are things I love. The idea of bowing for I know they're gonna come for me now.
They're
so
gonna come for her.
they're gonna come for me now, but
They're gonna come for
again, do what works for your house. I think the idea of bowing for your husband, the idea of serving your husband, the idea of catering for your husband, I think all of those things are privileges.
Yeah.
Do you understand? I don't think it's like, oh, he don't deserve it. Like, but once you are with someone that gives you the leadership and the covering that you need, like submission comes easily.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing this from like my own home. My parents have been married for 100 years. I'm kidding, maybe like 50. You know, and my dad is like one of the most hands-on people I've ever met at the same time. But my mother, I remember being like, I'm the last born in my family, and I told my mom one day, do you realize I was born last, so I need food more than everybody first? And she was like, child, I serve my man first. You're gonna get food.
Get out of the way.
You're gonna get food when food comes your way.
Yeah.
And she serves my father first. Not because my father said, thou must serve me first.
Yeah.
But
Me
he,
man.
Exactly, but he provides a leadership that makes it easy for her to be able to do that.
Yeah.
So I think it's really about doing what works for your family.
That's good.
And let's not forget, if we even go back to submission, it's like this, oh, she's a powerful woman, no. But I have a question. Let me just look straight into the camera, you know, for this. If she can submit to God, who is all powerful,
Yes.
right?
Say it.
What makes you think, right, she cannot submit to you? like let's unpack that. Oh, she's a powerful woman. She's this and that. She has all this going on, but she still submits to God. Like she still goes before the throne and say, Father, I will sit here at your feet, and I will do what you tell me to do. So if she can submit to God, right? What again makes what we really want to communicate, not just to we'll come to the women in a minute because some of you really be wilding out, you know. What we really want to communicate to men with this episode almost is that do not write a woman off because she has done her due diligence to be a valuable contributing member of society.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So I know it's challenging. It can be challenging for men. Like you were saying, some men feel like they're not equipped to lead. So get equipped. Do you understand?
Watch some YouTube.
Read a book, watch some movies, but go to God. Like ask God, what is the mission that you're supposed to be leading? And then find a woman that matches that mission so you can accomplish it.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
And I would say this, that the faster a guy can grasp that, the easier it makes things. I've literally watched it happen. I think that when he realizes his dominance doesn't come from him having a positional leadership in the marriage or him having more strength than you, and when he realizes that his dominance comes from his identity and how God has fashioned him to and equipped him specifically for the leadership of that woman, that should give you confidence. If God has assigned you,
if God has assigned you to lead that woman, it doesn't matter if she goes, you know she's gonna come back and say, baby, what did God say?
No,
that's
baby,
the truth. What am I supposed to do?
That's true.
Because
that is the truth. Because I watch. There are, Christian celeb couples that, I tend to watch. And this particular couple, I don't think I'm going to mention them. No.
Let's not mention them because I don't know who you're before the
I'm not going to mention them. But one thing I would say is that she is a very prominent teacher in the Christian space. She has written books. And it may appear that she is the more dominant character. She's a go-getter. But I always look at her and think, wow, I am enthralled by who your husband is. Because I know there's no way you are all of that without him. There's no way. There's just no way. And you see, and equally the women who maybe don't come out as much. I'm not saying that it needs to look like books and speaking engagements, but there's a level of confidence that a woman gets from being backed and covered by a very strong man
That word,
who is
covered.
comfortable in his identity.
Let covered. I'm gonna probably use Heather Lindsay as an example here.
Okay.
I remember Heather Lindsay wants to start Pinky Promise.
Yeah.
And I think she said,
is a good story.
Yeah, she said she went to her husband and he said, I don't think it's time yet, or something, and she was like, well. But then because she's submitted, she's like, I'm gonna wait because there is the blessing of God on honoring your husband.
Absolutely.
Do you understand? So
Absolutely.
she waits and her husband says, you know what, I think it's time now. So she goes and starts Pinky Promise and God blesses it beyond their wildest dreams. And she says, my husband was the first person to put a mic in my hand and say, preacher's gospel. That kind of covering and backing, Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
And I think I know this episode is for the women to really unpack strength and things like that. And we'll talk about what that looks like in church context because we don't see a lot of those examples in church context. But I would also say that...
Did we bring extra water? Because it's that church context.
I would also say that there's something really, really... there's something really nuanced and precious happening amongst Black men where they're kind of stepping out of all these expectations to be a millionaire by the time they get married, just so that they can give your wife more money when she's not really asking for more money. Some of us are, but some of us are really not. There's something happening where there's this emotional awareness coming forth, and these guys are now coming to this understanding that, okay, it's not just provide for her, have sex with her, tell her that she's supposed to follow my vision. Yeah. And anyway, if you look at any good leader, that is not how you compel someone to follow.
That is not
that is not a good... If that is your strategy plan, please trash it.
We need to change that, for sure.
But there's something really new happening because I don't want to discredit or not acknowledge the guys who are doing the work.
Yeah,
A lot of you are doing the work, but there's...
Thank you.
But there's also a lot of your brothers,
who need brothers.
My brothers, that are not doing the work. Yeah. And it's leaving your counterparts, our sisters, single.
The way you just said that.
Waiting for a long time. And I don't think it needs to be that way.
It doesn't.
I don't think it needs to be
that way. It really doesn't. I think I'm so glad now because in how many years of doing therapy, in the last 2 years, we've seen such an increase of men coming to therapy. Yeah. And you hear it across boards from colleagues like, thank you, God, like, praise God, that they're coming because it's so crucial for us to fill that gap that men didn't get from their fathers. So a lot of their fathers did not give men a blueprint of what it means to be a man. So they now identify what's happening on TV, which is on TV, it's you have a lot of money, you have a lot of cars, and you have a lot of women, and that is a man. Yeah. Do you understand? And one of the things...
3 ticks.
Yeah, the 3 ticks. And one of the things I remember... If he's watching this, my client wouldn't even mind. He'd be like propagating therapy, as much as he can. But he said, I told him once in a session that you are not mature enough to be a husband.
All the air in the room left.
Because by the time we broke down what being a husband was to him, he realized, I don't know how to do this. Yeah. I know how to make money. Yeah. I know how to show up. Yeah. But I don't know how to ask you how you feel. And to be honest, I hope how frank this could be. He's like, I don't even want a foreplay. I don't want none of that.
Just give it to me quickly.
Just give it to me quickly. Just give it to me quickly. And then, we came to terms that what was taught to him was it was okay to be, sorry, we're being frank again, it was okay to be community penis. You just spread yourself over the entire community. You have sex with whoever you want,
wherever you want, wherever you want. And then when you get tired of doing that, then you should go and settle down.
And then you should go. And
after you've been practicing how to not be faithful.
Exactly, which is hard because now they say, oh, I want to be faithful, But the brain does not work that way. You have been teaching and
Yeah.
programming your
Yeah.
brain for 10 years that if you see something and you like it, you can have it.
Yeah.
And now you commit to one woman,
Mhm.
but then your eyes are not trained, your mind is not trained, your heart is not
Where
trained.
do I put my offer?
your flesh is not trained
Yeah.
to say no to someone that you have not committed to.
That's good.
Do you understand?
Let the
And
church say amen.
So it now makes it hard, and then they come to therapy like, what is wrong with me? And I have to sit here and say, nothing is wrong with you.
Yeah.
Like nothing is innate wrong with you. We just need to retrain the way you see the world,
Yeah.
the way you value yourself, because you have to think about it. For you to share your body, your temple as a man or a woman with so much different people and not even care about it, you then have to ask yourself, how much do you value yourself and your body? I mean, I have my phone. You know how I am about my phone.
Yeah.
Like you don't touch my phone. Don't touch my phone. Don't touch any therapist's phone.
Don't
They will
touch
hunt you.
Don't
You know.
touch
Don't touch the phone, right? Because I value the information
Yeah.
that's on this phone.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to allow you in my phone or to touch my phone because I value it so much. So if I value my phone so much that I keep it so precious to me, how much more should I value my body?
Yeah. Yeah.
Should I just be sharing it? You know? But that's just a little bit from on the side.
No, I think it's valuable, and I'm gonna side dip, and then we're gonna get back to the
Okay,
topic.
thank you.
I think that I think I was listening. I don't remember his name, but he leads a movement called Just Heal Bro in America, and he was on the Breakfast Club with Charlamagne and DJ Envy, and he was saying that literally men are not cared about in society. So why do we now expect them to look after themselves? Like all this self-care stuff for a lot of men is very new.
Yes, it is.
It's very nuanced. It's because their dad did not show them that.
Nobody.
You know, a guy is ill and we tell him to suck it up.
Man up.
If he's crying, we tell him to stop crying. If he's in pain, we tell him to go do something with it.
Yeah.
There's no space for expression, and so even when it comes to showing softness to women, you know, these maybe a lot of men are looking for that softness immediately because they just feel like, well, I don't have an opportunity to express this softness, and so I need to see it immediately. But you're gonna have to work with us because black men and black women we've all been through stuff.
Can I tell you what my father told me?
What did he tell you?
Before we jump into that.
No.
I had a conversation with my dad, and this was years ago. And my dad goes and I had bought a fake wedding ring, and I wore this fake wedding ring because I was just tired. For that, and I'm proud of you. But he says, I know where we gonna find a husband for you. He's like, I don't know where we gonna find. I was like, you know, you're looking like, is something wrong with me, Daddy? Like, why are you saying that? Or like, Thursday.
That's an entire different construct.
I mean, I'm really surrendered to God and living for Him for real. Like, this is not like a show or a gimmick or something.
When I did my whole online dating thing, I experimented for like 3 or 4 months.
We gonna unpack that. We're gonna unpack that. It's a conversation I've had with like family and stuff and like friends as well. I would be afraid to walk down the aisle to a man that does not bow to God.
Oh, absolutely.
I feel like I would be in deep trouble.
Walking into hell.